Nearly half of healthcare workers reported feelings of burnout and anxiety after the pandemic. That's from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. A local hospital recently brought in a therapy program with the goal to improve workers' well-being. Silver Barker has the story.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Lots of kisses and hugs from a furry friend.
Yeah, he's my best friend. You're my bestie, huh?
It's how Corinne Payton gets a little break from work here at Mercy Health Perrysburg Hospital.
Oh, really? Mercy Health Perrysburg Hospital will be my first target. Why? Well, they are the most recent hospital. This surfaced just a few hours ago. For whatever reason, they don't show, February 24th, actually a few days ago. So it's a recent report. So you make a good candidate for a petition. Also, the reason why this will make for a good first hospital to petition against. Dogs have no place in hospitals. Dogs are the most toxic creatures on the planet. But another reason is because Perrysburg is close to where I live. If y'all look up Perrysburg, that is a suburb of Toledo, Ohio. So, Mercy Health, Perrysburg Hospital, this is just the beginning.
Hospital.
I either work over in nuclear medicine or in the PET CT department, and we use radioactive materials to image functional imaging in radiology.
And when she is not doing that, she walks 8-year-old sheepadoodle Harry around the hospital to share his...
Now, like I mentioned with the members a few hours ago, notice how they chose one of the hairiest dogs out there. Which means it's more toxic to the environment. And believe me, all dogs are toxic to the environment, but they brought this massive, very hairy dog. Also, these dogs are more difficult to clean. They urinate, defecate, and the urine and feces gets trapped in their hair easier. And it's harder to get out. They chose that type of dog to haul through hospitals. The arrogance, the entitlement is at a dangerous level right now. They deserve a lot more than petitions. I'll put it like that. They deserve to be shut down. You know how they'll find some filth in a restaurant and shut it down? When you're talking about health issues, companies get shut down. Why wouldn't a hospital where cleanliness is most important? No other building in society needs to be clean more than hospitals. And y'all want to bring the most toxic, most contaminating creatures inside of there?
It's love.
It just brightens everybody's day and gives them a minute to decompress.
Find another way to brighten your day. Because we know this is all BS. You all are just making up stupid, false excuses to be a nutter. You can't even be away from dogs for 8 hours. This is a real addiction that these people have. They are addicted to dogs, and it drives them crazy to be away from dogs for 8, 10, 12 hours. That's all this is.
And gives them a minute to decompress and just take their mind off.
No, what you're doing is being disgusting. You're being filthy and nasty. You're contaminating the hospital and everything in the hospital. Remember that report I shared where they did a study inside of people's homes who own dogs, and that they found dog dander, excrement, urine, literally everywhere. On every item inside the home, they found this stuff. Excrement, dog urine. And remember, dog urine and dog excrement is the most toxic urine and the most toxic feces on earth for whatever reason. And y'all decide to contaminate hospitals with that?
For the day.
A much needed support system given a healthcare
No, it's not needed. If you want to relax and de-stress, they make plenty of other clean options. And this is a hospital. Take some medication, you idiot. Go pop you an anti-stress pill, imbecile. Goofy nutter. Bring no whole dog in the hospital? Slap yourself. This is the one place you don't need no dog. Go pop you a pill.
provider's job includes some tough things like delivering bad news to a patient.
You've built a rapport with them and you've tried to make them comfortable with, having a difficult scan, and then you see those kind of things.
Ain't this is so pathetic. You have other nurses and doctors there who going through the same experiences that you're going through. Simply get in the room and talk about it. That will provide better therapy than a stupid dog. That will be the most beneficial. And you all know it. Talk to people who going through the same experiences. Y'all don't need no dog there. This is the last place you need a dog to de-stress and feel better. Now, if nobody gets to it, if somebody beats me to it, I'm going to make the petition this weekend. I am working far too much Monday through Friday. I'm to the point where 12 hours is a normal day, but I'm looking at possible 13, 14, 16-hour days. So Monday through Friday, I just really don't have the time, but y'all gonna get it. Y'all getting this work. This is a major health violation. I don't care what nobody say.
So it does, weigh on you.
Harry's owner, Lee Liebetrue, says that's exactly why she's volunteered Harry for this job.
Notice how they just refer to her as an owner. She really ain't no kind of expert. This woman right here, I'm going to try to control myself, because I refer to her using a much more derogatory word with the members. But this ain't no scientist. This just a regular dog lover. Just decided to volunteer her dog. This is a pet dog. We seen this before. They don't bring no specially trained, and we know they're not cleaning a thing the way that they're supposed to, and even if they were, it's still too contaminating.
His owner, Lee Liebetrue, says that's exactly why she's volunteered Harry for this job.
These people are sometimes giving really bad news that you don't want to have happen in your own family. And
like I said, pop a pill. These pathetic, tired excuses. What is with these people in this nasty, romantic relationship that they have with dogs? Get out of here. Do y'all really think you can stand in the face of how filthy these things are? Wait till you see the petition. I'm laying out every germ, virus, bacteria, every bug, infection, everything I can find. Do you know how many things go airborne? Particulate matter, microscopic. When these things enter an environment, much of this dander is microscopic. You don't play games like this. These people are disgusting. And this is a problem for everybody. Petition against these hospitals before we ourselves have to spend significant time inside hospitals. You're going to have nutters with dog all over them. Because think about it. You know how these people get dander and hair all over their body? You know how they walk around and they got hair from head to toe? The same thing is happening inside these hospitals. So you'll be a patient in your room. Here come a stupid nurse, and you know they're not changing their clothes. Do y'all really think they're rubbing on these dogs, hugging on these dogs, and then going somewhere, taking a shower and changing clothes? These dogs are most definitely contaminating these hospitals and the nurses and the doctors inside these places. This should be easy work. Hospitals should get the most pressure from dog kosher critics.
You know, if he brings a little bit of ease and comfort to somebody, I feel pretty good.
You see how she keep looking downward? She knows she's guilty. She knows this is contaminating, disgusting. She knows this is a health code violation. She knows that this breaks the Hippocratic Oath and all types of things. That's not a look of confidence. This don't look like no woman who truly believes she's doing something good. This woman reeks of deceit.
Happen in your own family, and you know, if he brings a little bit of ease and comfort to somebody.
Shut up, lady. Making excuses. Like a toddler. Don't she sound like a little kid? Oh, mommy, I wanted to feel happy, so I brought the dog inside the hospital. This is embarrassing. I'm ashamed. This makes me more ashamed to be American than anything else. It's one of the most shameful things in this country.
I feel pretty good about that.
And Harry isn't the
Look at
only
that.
one.
Look at that. Another filthy, nasty dog. Got spit, saliva all over the mouth. This is disgusting. Unbelievable. Where is the health department? Where's who? World Health Organization. Where are they? What do they have to say?
One in the hospital fetching for hearts. The program, which started
Look at
earlier
her.
this month,
Look at that.
also
Look at that. Look at that. You see what they're doing? Getting their rocks off, making out with dogs inside of a hospital. This is what your nurse is doing in between tending to you. No, this is a violation. This, like I said, should be easy work. I don't see, this is indefensible. Doctors, they have to go to school longer. Doctors have to go to school much longer than nurses. They should know better. And if I'm not mistaken, doctors control the environment inside of hospitals. And if the doctor says, get that thing out of here, there's nobody who can object. But I don't care who's responsible. Everybody's responsible. Nobody's speaking against it. They're either a nutter or they're keeping their mouth closed.
The program, which started earlier this month, also includes 5 other dogs, including 2 golden retrievers, Hope and Henry, who also provide positive.
So, people, they have multiple dogs inside the hospital, which is even more of a contaminant. Go ahead and double the contaminant. Multiple dogs in one hospital. Truly unbelievable. And this shows you that society is going downhill. We lost all backbone. You got newborns in hospitals all the way up to the elderly. And y'all bringing dogs. Like I mentioned, like we all mentioned several times. What about people who are allergic? This is a concealed environment. What about them? What about allergic reactions? They don't care. This should not happen inside of hospitals, at least not without pushback.
Provide positive reinforcement.
This is a nice breather or nice break to take without really having to think about it. You just...
Yeah, you're not thinking. Yeah, you're not using your brain. That's the one thing I agree with you on. I mean, look at it. Look at them. You can't make this up. Now, this is the worst one. This surfaced 2 days ago. I couldn't even make it through this video with the members. I couldn't make it through. I've talked about and continue to talk about how dog lovers interpret these dogs' obsession with food as affection. And you're really going to see that in this video. What's going on here? Did this dog fall asleep from the medication? Oh, it's eating. Because like I said, they're all just obsessed with food. This is pathetic. Now brace yourselves, because the nuttery is strong in this video. This is why I couldn't make it through the whole thing.
Oh, check this out. In December, students at Huntington East Middle School welcomed a furry friend in their hallways. Bear is the 45th therapy dog to be placed in a West Virginia school as part of former First Lady Kathy Justice's Friends.
Now we got to give females this work as well. Why is it almost always an army of women behind this therapy dog nonsense? Doesn't it seem like women are bigger nutters than the men? What is up with this? I'm confused. Let me know what y'all think. What is with this surge in women being at the forefront of nuttery?
First Lady Kathy Justice's Friends with Paws initiative.
So Bear will serve as a healthy and friendly outlet for students dealing with everyday stressors. Who doesn't have everyday stressors? He is set to turn 1 year old, and it's a golden retriever appropriately named for the school's mascot.
Look at that. How much y'all think that costs? To put that together. How much labor do you think went into that? All for a dog. Tell me that this is pure worship.
The Bears. So we have bears in our...
Now, like I pointed out with the members, you see the food obsession. You see how fixated it is with what? Their hands. At all times. Anytime you move your hand, they're looking at it.
So we have bears.
See that? She couldn't even move her hand without this thing being fixated on it. Food, 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 food. Euthanasia.
We have Bear in our studio along with Huntington East Middle Principal Don Pennington.
Look at it. Look at it. There was no food in this hand. So the nasty inbred parasite started scooting over to check the other hand. Sniffing all the way. Food obsession. Truly pathetic. And it's drugged up.
In our studio, along with the Huntington East Middle Principal, Don Pennington, and Jessica Kuhn, who is the primary dog handler, I guess you could.
Now, you see how she starts rubbing on the dog's head right here? You see how she knew that the dog was after food, that food was on its inbred mind. But she tried to pretend like the dog wanted affection. Did y'all catch that? She lifted the dog's head up to make it look like the dog wanted affection and not food. That was truly pathetic right there.
Studio, along with the Huntington East Middle Principal, Don Pennington, and Jessica Kuhn, who is the primary dog handler.
See that?
You could say.
See, pathetic. Proves my theory right. They try to project their obsession with food, their obsession with eating, as affection and love. Try again, nutters.
Studio, along with the Huntington East Middle Principal, Don Pennington, and Jessica Kuhn, who is the primary dog handler, I guess you could say, for Bear. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Now, Bear saw me in the commercial break put a treat in my pocket and has been upset.
You see that? She said the dog saw me put a treatment. That dog's memory ain't that good. So she goes on to admit that all the thing wanted was food. Yeah, you couldn't hide it, lady. You couldn't deceive the public in that moment, could you? You had to go and give it what it wants.
Thank you. Now, Bear saw me in the commercial break put a treat in my pocket and has been obsessed. So, okay, we'll go ahead and give you your treat. Good boy.
You deceitful cow. Whoa, what a bunch of liars. What you laughing at, hag? We saw that.
Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Now, Bear saw me in the commercial break put a treat in my pocket and has been obsessed. So, okay, we'll go ahead and give you your treat.
Good
Talk
boy.
about Bear's role at your school.
You want to go ahead? So, primarily, we have him out in the morning. Miss Coon, she brings him in, every single morning. The kids, they come down the hall, they pet him.
Kids don't ask for this thing. Kids don't ask for dogs. And y'all know it.
We kind of get him out of the way so, people can keep going if they want to. But they can stop, pet him. To be honest, he does a lot.
Notice how he said there's a number of people who don't interact with the dog. He just admitted it. He said so people can keep walking if they want to. The thing is, they shouldn't be subjected to the dog at all. It shouldn't be there for them to walk past.
Anyone, we kind of get him out of the way so, people can keep going if they want to. But they can stop, pet him. To be honest, he does a lot with the teachers. I think it's more of his thing than...
Look at that. It's pathetic. The dog is the center of attention, always. The dog always takes priority over the students. I would not dare let these people be in charge of my child.
I think it's more of his thing than some of the students. I think the teachers need him just as bad.
That's right.
So he does a lot of students in crisis, anything like that. He's just a more calming, soothing presence for them.
Yeah, that's what.
And what was that about? Did y'all see that? Look at this student right here. He's acting almost like he wants to walk out of the classroom. And she's trying to, look, you see that? He's clearly not obsessed with this dog. How about the students who don't want nothing to do with that mutant? Huh? Disgusting. And on this clip, you can see several people walking right past that dog. No true nutter would do that. Especially not with a camera there. Are you kidding? Are you kidding, people? This is your chance to be on the news. And you're a dog lover. You're going to fight people to pet that dog on camera. But notice how many people walk right on by. Look at that. You see that guy in the gray jacket put distance between the dog and himself. He sort of walked around it. Yeah, what about those people? You see that? This guy right here. He changed direction. Oh yeah, I see all of this. Multiple people saying, nope, no thanks. These two back, no thanks. And as I pointed out with the members, why didn't they correct this student right here? They caught this on camera. Why didn't they refuse to show this? Why didn't they edit this part out? Seeing that trainers tell people, especially kids, not to do this. Not to stick your face directly in a dog's face. These people are idiots, degenerates. These are true degenerates. And they're slow. Why is it that I can recall multiple trainers saying that you should never do this, but they can't? They're slow. They don't even do basic research. Them showing that kid, putting his face right in that dog's face, that is them encouraging that behavior. Their refusal to edit that out of this video is them encouraging this behavior from kids. I told y'all. They teach youngsters to do things that maximize the chances that they get attacked.
Typical day life, like if a student does need him in a therapy session or in the classroom, or like we're seeing video of him in the hallway, and he had just gone in the classroom to kind of just play.
Yeah, so he has structured time throughout the day where we visit actual classrooms.
This is another thing. The nutter handlers, nutter organizations, and they only appeal to the students who like dogs. Several of those students do not care for dogs. We're giving a voice to them. They don't want to speak out against dogs. Right? So that's why I am. That's why we are.
And we'll go to the library and he'll hang out with the kids as they check out books.
So you leave the school and take it to the library, targeting kids. Kids in school, kids in libraries. That should be petitioned against also. And it will be. in a matter of time, one institution at a time. But y'all know full well these things serve no purpose in these schools. They only work in a negative way to desensitize the youngsters to believe that dogs are not dangerous, when in reality, they are the most dangerous entities in society for this age demographic. Those between 5 and 9, and especially those 12 and under, are attacked by dogs more than any other age range. So what are you teaching them? By bringing dogs into schools, large dogs at that, and instructing the students to rub on them. What are you teaching them, you idiots? That's why I say, y'all are responsible for these attacks. The blood is on y'all hands as well.
As they check out books, some of our classes will actually come to the library and read to him. So he's got a little couch in there and he sits down while they read to him.
Read to a dumb, nasty, retarded looking inbred mutant. No, it's not adorable. Look at this crazy psycho zombie looking broad right here with that nutter expression. You look brainwashed by parasites, lady. All of y'all. Adorable. No, it's not adorable, lady. Hideous.
And then he's got more unstructured time, like that time in the hallway that you saw, and around our lunch times. He just walks through the halls so that as they're out, they can pet him.
Look at how dumb is sitting there looking. It's hyper focused on this lady in the blue because she gave it something to eat. Do you think this mutt is providing therapy for anybody right now? Get that dumb look on his face.
Get a little loving.
Oh, well, we have
They can get a little loving. It sounds very nasty to me. And that's what I think this is all about. Bunch of nasty people behind closed doors doing nasty stuff with these things. And they're tired of the feeling of guilt of keeping it behind closed doors. These people who are involved in this lifestyle, they want to feel normal. So they try to sort of bring that behavior outside of the bedroom.
Loving him. Here.
We need you to hang out.
We need a therapy dog at WSAZ.
We do.
This is so weird and nasty. This disgusting foreplay. Rubbing. Sticking your stupid face in its face. It's sexual and disgusting. Y'all don't rub on no other animal on this earth like this. I mean, this is true primitive man right here. Degenerate.
Here.
We need you to hang out.
We need a therapy dog at WSAZ.
We do. What was some of the training Bear had to go through?
So,
Fellas, stay away from these kind of women. Let them die alone. Stay away from them. I guarantee they're far more in love with that dog than they are with you. Several polls have been taken. There are even several men who are not dog culture critics who refuse to date women with dogs. Bravo.
he was trained by Ultimate Canine, and they're based out of Indiana.
Okay.
And they start.
Look at this obsessive rubbing. Stop it. Weirdos. Absolute degenerate weirdos.
Training them at 2 months old, and so he'll be his birthday's actually this week.
Look at just dumb, brainless, no brain to be found. All that dumb mutt knows is food, eating, food, attack kids. You can see in this thing's eyes that it is the type to attack newborns. Somebody talking about, yeah, I believe you. It looks like a child mauler. Right? This is talking about adorable. This is the face of the #1 child predator in this country. You disgusting freaks.
So, yeah, Wednesday he'll be 1. So he's had that training, you know, all that.
Euthanize it. These despicable pieces of trash are responsible for more deaths, mutilations. We are not obligated to appreciate the existence of these things, not one bit. I don't care if I've never owned a dog. These things cannot go one day without sending over 1,000 children in this country to the hospital. Every day in this country. And let's get real. It's closer to 3,000-4,000 at this point. It was over 1,000 a day back in 2010. Far more than that now. Euthanize them. I am sick of the image of these things being appreciated. Looking at their track record, at their history as a group, there's no reason why they should not be despised.
All that time for his specific purpose of being in a school.
Okay, so you guys introduced him in December. He had been around for a little bit before that. Talk about what the difference you guys have seen in those students and those teachers in your building in general.
Oh my gosh, I think he's made a huge impact just in culture.
Now, you see, the dog is still obsessed with that woman. Still obsessed with food. This thing is tolerating their presence because of food.
What the difference you guys have seen in those students
Look
and
at
those
it,
teachers.
staring at her hands. What a turnoff. The thing don't appreciate you, appreciates food.
In your building in general.
Oh my gosh, I think he's made a huge impact.
Look at that. Just obsessed. Can't stop eating.
In culture, the morale of the building is just better.
And then she again tries to project it as affection. It wants love. It wants some loving. No, it wants food. You are pathetic for trying to interpret and project that as affection. That's enough, if you ask me, that's enough to put you in a straitjacket. That's enough for me to declare you as a mentally unhealthy person. Just that alone.
He's made a huge impact just in culture. The morale of the building is just better.
And now everything that she's saying is a lie.
He brings so much comfort and love, and I say
If that's the case, lady, that's a direct lie, people. That these things bring comfort and love. What actually happens is the people who don't love dogs, they're turned off. They walk right past the dog. They leave the room. They put distance between themselves and the dog. How is that an improvement of the environment? It's not. You've just made things worse. You've made people uncomfortable. Let's put more emphasis on that. When these people bring dogs into the environment, we should take into consideration the people who are not dog lovers. That means you made the environment worse.
it's already starting to improve our behavior and attendance numbers. We have kids in the mornings that tell us they're here just to pet Bear.
You see how they pretend as if dog lovers make up the entire population of the school, which we know is not true. They only talk about the people who rub on these things, the students who rub on these things, and project the idea that all the students were in love, but no, they were not.
And I know, Mr. Pennington, some kids in your school, you know, every school has some rough situations that these kids are dealing with, and when they come to school, that's their...
Some of these kids, y'all clearly see that. Some of these kids start walking faster to get past that dog. You see that girl in the red? Like, don't want to be a part of this nuttery. No, nutters, y'all got to explain that. Talking about how magical these things are. If that's the case, why so many students walking right on past them? If there's ever a time to rub and pet on a dog and show it affection, it's now in front of the camera. When it's facing, and look at how they position the dog, so that you have to walk past it. Put it in a location where it's facing the students. And there's still students walking right on past it.
You know, every school has some rough situations that these kids are dealing with, and when they come to school, that's their safe zone. It should be a release, and obviously he can only be helping with that.
Yeah, there's been a couple times that I could tell a kid's upset or they're telling me something. I'm like, you want to go pet bear? You know?
See, yeah, that's what I thought. You make the suggestion, old nutters. Young people, y'all need to understand, these adults are the worst influence for you. When it comes to dogs, don't listen to anything that they say. Anything. Unless they're telling you that these things are dangerous, disgusting, nasty, and that you need to stay away from them, don't listen to anything. Now, like I said, I'm going to get this petition popping this weekend. And I'm going to focus on this particular hospital. And I'm not going to stop. Petition after petition against these hospitals. Y'all can probably get away hauling these things in the schools. Yeah, that might be a little more difficult to argue against. But in a place like a hospital that's supposed to stay as clean as possible, a nasty, filthy, toxic mutant like dogs have no place in hospitals. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.